Who's the best quarterback? Who's the best quarterback now in the NFL? Who's the best quarterback coming out of the 2023 draft this year? Who's the best quarterback? Who's the best quarterback out of these two? Is it Justin Daniels or Caleb Williams? I would say this. Caleb Williams is probably was the number one pick. He was the number one pick. He came in with all the hype. And I think if we had to do a redraft this year, if we had to do a redraft, I think I think Jalen Daniels would go number one. I think Jalen Daniels will go number one because we saw um what the win against Jacksonville. We saw the win against Jacksonville, and I think if we had to redraft, if we had to redraft this draft, I would say I would say Jalen Daniels would go number one. Just how the rookie season he's having so far, he has a good um a good offense around him and a good team around them. And like I think the Washington Commanders can go far here Jalen with Jalen Daniels. And I think he's going to be the future of the future quarterback of Washington. Now to Caleb Williams side of things. I do think Caleb Williams he's having a tough time in the first half of the season in the NFL. He has pieces around him, but I think with with him not taking CJ Stroud's advice or him not taking CJ Stroud's advice, I think that wasn't right when the clip happened, when we saw the clip of him and CJ Stroud talking, because you have to have that advice. And I think if we had to redraft, like I said, if we had to redraft, I would say, um, I would say, Daniel Jalen Daniels would have to go number one. I mean, go number one because when we look at what Jalen Daniels is doing, he's having a good rookie season. He's going to be Washington got a quarterback that's probably going to be their future quarterback going forward. And when we look at the Bears side of things, yeah, the Bears got Caleb Williams, but he's not playing that decent way of football right now. That decent way of football that we know that we've seen from Caleb Williams play. Who would go number one? I would say Jalen Daniels would have to go number one because we've seen what he did against the Bengals, against the Bengals on Monday Night Football, and I do think Jalen Daniels he has a good offense. He has a good offense, and Jalen Daniels looks like the future quarterback for the Washington Commanders because over the years Commanders had the Commanders had Kirk Cousins as their quarterback. They had Kirk Cousins as their quarterback, and now they have Justin Daniels, who I think is probably going to be the future quarterback for Washington for the Commanders. He's going to be the future quarterback for the Commanders. Um, for the Commanders. And I definitely think that. I definitely think that. Now, for Caleb Williams, we know that Caleb Williams came into the draft with the number one pick. We know that he came into the draft with the number one pick, and like Caleb Williams, he's in a good situation, but I think college is totally different than the NFL. He's not. He's not like he's he's going. It's going to take time for Caleb Williams to play like a like an NFL quarterback because it seems like to me Jalen Daniels is playing more like a NFL quarterback than than um Caleb Williams is. Are the Bears did the Bears make did the Bears make a bad decision here not taking McDaniels? I think at the time you had to take the you could have took anybody you wanted. I mean, you could have drafted anybody you wanted, is what I mean. You could have drafted anybody you wanted in this draft. I mean, and I think we all knew that Caleb Williams was going to go number one. We all knew that. We all knew that last year that he was going to go number one. But the Bears could have chose anybody else, anybody else with their draft pick last year. And it seems like if I had to choose, if we had to redraft these two quarterbacks, who would you take, McDaniel's or Caleb Williams? I would take Jalen McDaniels. Just how he has a good team around him, a good offensive line, a good team around him. And I'm going to also say this. I think I think Caleb Williams has a good team around him, but it's going to take time for that team to come together around Caleb Williams. But I do think Jalen Daniels is having a good NFL season, and I do think Caleb Williams is having a good NFL season. But guys, sub if you're new and never give up your dreams. And I hope all of you guys are safe out there and stay blessed, everybody, and peace.